Hello there, this is DBT and these are the rules. And alright, let's continue talking about Asphalt Legends. And today we're having a look at the patch notes for the hotfix that just released, as well as the season notes or event calendar for the upcoming season. Because there's some cool stuff coming, but there's also some really bad decisions made by Gameloft and we need to talk about them. But before I get into it, if you enjoy my content, please hit the like button on this video and also subscribe to the channel. It's free and it helps. So why not? Do it for DBT. But alright, if you're wondering why didn't I make a video on this topic yesterday when the patch notes released, well, it's because just yesterday the patch notes released. We the content creators didn't get much of a window to make videos on these patch notes. Normally we do have a bunch of time to make the video and everything, but this time it just didn't work out that way. We were given the patch notes and then it's like, okay, the video should be coming out in a few hours. And like, yep, I was sleeping at the time, so I couldn't make the video. But hey, whatever, here we are. Now, because all of this has been already published, these patch notes are already on the website, so I'll leave the link in the description if you want to check them out. Because over here today, I am actually going to go a little bit faster into talking about the season calendar, because there's other stuff that I think it's more important to talk about, but still, we're going to have a look. Now, like I said, this is straight up from the website. Don't mind some Spanish over here. For some reason, my browser keeps on defaulting to Spanish, even though I set it up to English, but anyway. So we now know that the new season is going to be called Road to Glory, and here's the patch notes and the hotfix info, and well, here's already a preview of what's coming back. Now here's a bunch of text just saying that, well, there's some stuff that was fixed and blah 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 and this and that. The hotfix should be released by the time this video is released, though it hasn't been released at the time I'm recording, but you get the idea. And the new season should be starting on Tuesday, the 28th of April. That's what we know. Now, when it comes to the actual season, Road to Glory, when it comes to the time-limited events, we're going to have Work Hard, Play Hard starting on May the 1st until the 8th, featuring the Zenvo Aurora Tour. We got the Cinco de Mayo starting on the 5th of May, quite fittingly, featuring the Lamborghini Revuelto, which is curious because normally this event, I believe, always features the Citroën GT by Citroën, but now they changed it to a Lambo, so hey, I'm not complaining. Speaking of Lambos, we're gonna have the Invencible Star Hunt starting on the 8th of May until the 19th. Now, this is a fantastic Class B car, so you should absolutely go for it. Insane acceleration. Then we're gonna have the International Day of Families featuring the Porsche 718 Cayman GT4 Club Sport, the Porsche 911 GT1 Evolution, and the Porsche Taycan Turbo S. A bunch of Porsche focus still, so there you go. Now next we have the LEGO Technic Aston Martin Valkyrie Tour starting on the 14th of May, and this should be that type of event where it gives you a bunch of blueprints. I think it normally gives about 30, so if you don't own the car, you probably will be able to unlock it over here, and if you already have it, maybe you'll be able to start it up, so there is that. Then we're gonna have the Epic Hunt for the Invencible, which is, you know, the second part of the Star Hunt, so there you go, that's gonna be starting on the 18th of May. We also have the World B-Day starting on the 19th, and it's going to be featuring the Arash AF8 Falcon Edition, McLaren Solus GT, and the Mercedes-Benz AMG GTS. Hey, listen, I think this is the more interesting, the Solus GT, because hey, it's a pretty interesting car in Class B. Then we got the Memorial Day starting on the 25th of May, and the cars featured are going to be all American cars in the form of the Ford GT Mark II, Cadillac CN, the Chevrolet Corvette ZR1, and the Triumph Nemesis. Obviously, the most relevant cars, I suppose, should be the ZR1, given that you can Evo it, and the Triumph Nemesis that, despite being a relatively low Class S, it's quite strong. For car hunts, first, I don't know why they set it up this way, but the first car hunt we're going to have is for the Jaguar CX-75, starting on the 28th of April, and the second one, starting on the 12th of May, is going to be for the Aston Martin Valor. They just listed them in the wrong order, but whatever, it works. Now we know what are the car hunts. As far as the special events, we're going to have the Hololive Final Encore Spotlight starting on the 28th of April until the 27th of May. And the cars featured are going to be the Honda Civic Type R, Vanda Electric Dendrobium, Glickenhaus 003S, the one in Class B, Porsche 911 GT3 RS, Noble M600 Speedster, Nissan GTR 50 Idle Design, and the Aspark Owl. So, this has some really cool cars for sure. Now, granted, for a player like myself that already have pretty much all of them, doesn't matter too much. But seriously, having an opportunity to get the ever-spam Vanda, the quite powerful Porsche 911 GT3 RS, the Noble, which is quite competitive, as well as the Nissan GTR 50, yeah, I wouldn't keep my hopes up that you're going to be able to unlock the Owl if you don't already have progress on it, but still. Then, very interestingly, we're going to have the Mayhem event for the RS Panther from the 5th of May until the 28th. Now, the support cars are gonna be the McLaren 600 LT Spider, Pagani's Honda Cinque, Aston Martin DBS GT Zagato, the McLaren 650 SGT3, 4GT Mark IV, and the Mercedes-Benz AMG 1. Now listen, I did make a video testing the new cars of the last update, including obviously the Ares Panther. I'll put the link in the top right if you want to watch that. But over there I was saying that I was quite surprised that this is probably the fastest Class B car nowadays, specifically when using Perfect Nitro, because it has the extra boost. It goes something like 390 something, it's crazy. And overall the performance of the car seems quite nice, so this is definitely a cool car to get. But on top of that, the support cars are quite good. The 600 LT Spider is a pretty good Class B car. The Zonda Cinque, it's a good mid-low Class A. The Aston Martin DBS GT Zagato is quite competitive. The 650 SGT3, it's a very strong mid-Class A car. The 4GT Mark IV, that one is a little bit dubious because, you know, it has terrible drift, but it's quite fast and very good acceleration for Class B. So long as you don't rely too much on the drift, this can do some damage. And finally, the Mercedes-Benz AMG 1, which is for Class A mid, but I think it's a competitive and fun car to drive. So yeah, I'm definitely interested not only on the main car, but also in some of the multi-packs that should come with this event. Then we're gonna have the Aglaia special event from the 19th of May until the 3rd of June. And it's gonna be featuring, support cars, the Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat Red Eye Wide Body, Jesus Christ with the name, Aston Martin Valor, Pure Italia Berlinera, Lamborghini Senza CB12, Frangivento Sorpasso GT3, and the Koenigsegg Jesko. Now, the funny thing about this event is that while we had already an Aglaia event in the past, this one is going to be different because it features completely different cars. So I don't know, that's kind of curious. Now, as far as the cars that it features, I think the more interesting ones are going to be the Essenza, because it's a pretty decent one in Class B. And well, of course, the Koenigsegg Jesko. So maybe if you have already some progress on this car, hopefully there's going to be a key to be found over there, but we don't know just yet. Then we're going to have the Pagani Imola Unleashed from the 18th of May until the 2nd of June. And as quote-unquote support cars, is going to have the Aston Martin Valhalla, the Ferrari F8 Tributo, the Apollo Evo, and the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento. So, hey, in case you don't know, the Pagani Imola is a pretty strong Class A car, so absolutely, any progress you can make on that is good progress. And as far as the support cars, well, none of them seem like a bad car. The Sesto Elemento is not amazing, but it certainly is not bad at all. Same thing for the Apollo Evo. Then we're going to have the Lamborghini Starato Grand Prix, the one event that I'm really interested because I'm a Lambo collector. That's starting on the 11th of May. And well, it's a Grand Prix for Lamborghini Starato Class D car. So I don't think anybody's going to be super excited about it but me, but hey, there it is. And finally, we're going to have the Vencer Sarth Starway, with the support cars being the Dodge Viper ACR, the Monza SP1, Lamborghini Huracan Super Trofeo Evo, and the Countach 25th anniversary. So I went a bit fast on this because, again, it's cool to see the event, and like I said, there's some cool events, but really, I want to talk about the hotfix part because there's some stuff that is worth mentioning over there. Now, first it lists, well, it says that it should be released at this date and this time and all of that, but like I said, by the time I'm recording this video, it hasn't released, but at the time you're watching it, probably it's already out, so there's that. Now, for the fixed issue, it lists, floaty issue has been fixed. Good news, your drift will no longer be interrupted by 360s or other tricks you perform on track. I hope this is just bad wording, because that was actually not the issue. The issue wasn't that the drift was being interrupted by 360, but rather that you couldn't drift after landing from a 360 and all that. But whatever, maybe this is just bad wording. Hopefully they do know what the issue was, and hopefully they did fix it. So yeah. Now, as far as other fixes, crash fixes across all platforms, iOS age verification issue, empty reward stat for multiplayer, season pass not appearing for some players, I'm gonna skip it this couple too, shop not appearing in BlueStack, and leaderboard issues. All of these have been fixed. I skipped this one, the India track respawn issue, because I just wonder if this has something to do also with those respawn when you're hugging certain walls and your car suddenly lifts up a little bit and you just get teleported back in. I hope that's been fixed. And also the issue with Scotland with some additional ramps that shouldn't be there. Apparently that has been fixed as well. So all of this is good. The fixes is good. And of course, the most important one is the floaty one, which honestly, I feel it took way too long. We had to live with this issue for 3 weeks, but it wasn't so much of a hot fix, was it? Whatever. It's fine. If it's fixed, I'm good with that. Now, here's the part where it gets really questionable. First, economy changes related to ads balancing. And it reads, we will be tweaking our current ad reward system as currently we feel it may create an awkward experience. We want our events to be an experience rewarding and engaging enough for you to dedicate your time on, instead of having to focus on grinding stages to trigger ads. Now it is very interesting that they mentioned this because this is an issue that not only I, but a lot of people have raised to Gameloft that they should fix this and they haven't. If you know what I'm talking about, in any race in the game, when you go over 7,500 credits as a reward for the race, the ad multiplier you will get, it's exclusively ×3. You will never get a higher ad multiplier than ×3 if your credits went over 7,500. So what this causes is, for example, in some events, in some stage when you finish the race, you might get 7,600 credits for winning the race, and you're gonna get a ×3 multiplier. That's not particularly good. Instead, you can go maybe in a previous stage in which your reward for finishing the race in first place is going to be 5,600 credits, and guess what? For that, you can get a multiplier of ×3 or ×4 or ×6 or ×8 or ×12 or even ×20, and then you get a higher payout of credits. So this is an issue that has been present in the game for quite a while. We have reported it a million times, but unfortunately it seems that it hasn't been addressed yet. And instead they're saying like, no, you shouldn't be focusing so much on the ad multiplier. Instead, you should focus more in other parts of the game. Well, let's see what they did about that. Continuing to read, it says, we're taking measures to help players who need credits the most. Starting next season, players who are in earlier stages of their progression will see a boost in their credits they receive from credit multipliers. In the next update, we'll have the tools ready to fine-tune and extend that benefit to players in short supply of credits at any point of their journey. Now, this is a twofold and it bothers me in two ways. First, this part where it says that players who are in earlier stages of their progression will see a boost in their credits. What they're saying is, newbie players are gonna get more credits. That's great. I'm not complaining about that, but hey, Gameloft, you know who else needs credit other than newbie players? Everyone else. Everyone in the game needs credits. The credit issue is not exclusive to newbie players. It's everywhere in the game. And listen, not to argue against newbie players or anything, I have nothing against them, it's perfectly fine. But I think the players who need more credits are not the newbie ones, because newbie ones are focused on their class D or C or B. You know who needs to focus more on credits? The people who have to spend 42 million credits to upgrade their one class S car. Those are the players who need a ton of credits, not the ones that need 1/10 of that to upgrade a car. Again, I'm not saying that the newbie shouldn't get credits. I'm saying that focusing exclusively on that and leaving everyone else, I don't think that's a good move. Now, granted, this is only for the next update, because after that, apparently, they're going to implement a system for additional credits for players who are short in credits, which sounds like a good thing. Hey, I am over here trying to upgrade my car, but I don't have credits. So, oh, now the game is giving me an additional whatever percentage, right? It sounds great, except that this, while it helps some players, it also punishes other players like myself. And while I'm going to focus this from a very selfish, in a way, perspective point of view, I think some other people will understand where I'm coming from, and hopefully you will agree that this is just straight up weird. Because a player like myself that has been saving a lot of credits for a lot of time to have credits available for when I need them in a pinch, I'm gonna be punished because, hey, DBT and this other player over here has 30 million credits. They have a lot of credits. They don't need more credits. Meanwhile, DBT and all of those other players who keep on saving and saving and saving just to be safe, over here we are having to be very careful with what we upgrade at all so as to not go broke. But yeah, no, it's like, oh, well, you have a bunch of credits. You are not going broke every time, so therefore you don't need more credits. I don't think this is the way to go. I don't think they should be excluding or segregating the players depending on how many credits they have or how long have they been playing. It shouldn't be about either of those two things. What they should do is provide more credits overall. And I'm not saying to make it free and super easy and all of that. I have actually some suggestions related to how the multiplayer rewards and credits are pretty bad and how they could improve them and make it more grindable in a fun way. I've given Gameloft a lot of feedback about this, and I will make a video on that later on, but I don't like what they did over here. I don't like this idea of let's just help this section of players and this other section of players and everyone else that is in the middle. Nah, We don't care about you. I don't think that's the way to go. Now, another part that bothers me in a semi-personal level, not personal, but in the way that it's gonna affect me and a bunch of players, we also overestimated the average amount of ads players normally watch, providing an unfair advantage to platforms without ads, as they can quickly go through 20 ad tickets a day, which very few of you end up benefiting from on platforms with ads. So to help level things out, platforms without ads will have their ad tickets reduced from 20 to 8 to better match the average experience amongst players. All right. What they're saying over here, but in case you are not aware, if you're a player who plays in a platform where you have ads, the way that it works for platforms that don't have ads is that, well, at the very start of when Asphalt Legends Unite launched, we just didn't have an opportunity to get credit multipliers at all. So you could play multiplayer, but you wouldn't get multipliers. What Gameloft did to fix this in platforms that don't have ads, like the Switch or the PlayStation or Steam, if you don't have your account linked to any other device, what they did was add this quote-unquote ad tickets, and they gave you 20 ad tickets per day. So you would finish a race in multiplayer, in an event, or wherever, and it would offer you a multiplier like it would if you were to watch an ad, except that you couldn't watch an ad because, again, it's a platform without them. So they gave us 20 of those a day, and you could use them in whatever multiplier it would randomly give you, right? Now, what they're saying over here is instead of 20, they're gonna give us 8. Why? Because not everybody uses that many ads on their mobile devices. I think that's a terrible way of doing it. Absolutely terrible. Just to give you a very dumb, but a hopefully very clear example, what they're saying is, okay, so this bunch of people over here, we give them a pizza a day, but they only eat half the pizza. And then there's this other group of people over here, and we give them a pizza every day, and they do eat the whole pizza. But you know what? Never mind. Because these people on this side only eat half the pizza, well, the guys who eat the whole pizza, you only get half a pizza too. Why? Because. But hey, Gameloft, I do eat a pizza every day. Well, we don't care because all of these other people don't eat the whole pizza, therefore you don't deserve the whole pizza either. Obviously, the pizza being the ad possibility, right? And the fact that they're cutting hours, because I am a Switch player mainly, they're cutting the amount of ad multipliers we can get by well over half, approaching a third. Well, 2/3 that they remove, right? It's ridiculous. I don't understand why they would do that. We already have problems getting credits, and what they're doing is like, to fix the economy, we're gonna give you less credits. Bravo. Anyway, like I said, I'm gonna make a video on things related to credits and how I think it could improve in the game. And again, it's feedback I gave Gameloft, but they don't seem to care. Yeah, anyway, that's for another time. For now, let's keep on reading. Ultimate Legend Pass. As most of you are aware by now, we continue to work on fine-tuning the contents of the Ultimate Pass, and this time we have some exciting updates. For this hotfix, and coming into play next season, we'll be further changing the pass's content, which will bring the Zenvo Aurora Tur as a featured car, and including the key for the Pagani Zonda R. Already have the Zonda R? No worries, the key will be converted to 150,000 trade tokens, so you can still get some extra value from our Spotlights or Legends store. For the rest of the included rewards, we want to try and offer more active value and upgrades compared to just adding more bulk resources. So have a look at the Ultimate Pass once the new season comes and let us know what you think of the changes. Alright, so let's break this down, because over here they're painting it as a good thing, and I think it has, a couple of things that are decent, but the subtext over there, it's kind of tricky. It's a little bit sneaky. What they're saying over here is, all right, well, we're gonna have again a rare car as the main one. Fair enough, I can understand. Normally, I would think that the people who buy the Legend Pass are buying it for the new cars. You know how they would feature one of the new cars over there, but no, this time, well, it's again a repeated car, though it's a rare and a good one. Fair enough. And including the key for the Pagani Zonda R. The Pagani Zonda R, it's not a very good car for Class A. But hey, I guess if you don't have it, you could be happy about getting the key. Fair enough. Now, if you do have the key, they give you 150,000 trade coins, which is decent-ish for people who are missing epics to buy. But I don't know. I mean, there's a bit of a question as to people who buy the Ultimate Pass, if they actually need the trade tokens, because hey, they're spending a bunch of money in the game, so Do they already have all of the epics that they need? I don't know. Maybe this will be useful for half of them. Maybe the other half will find this completely useless. But what is important about this is what it says over here. We want to try to add and offer more active value upgrades compared to just adding more bulk resources. Active value upgrades, they mean stuff that you can use in the game in an active way. Think of wildcards, for example. You know that the Ultimate Pass already provides you with ultimate, what are they called? Wildcard, epic import by wildcards or something like that you can just convert them into epics, which is fair enough. Compared to just adding more bulk resources. Now, I do know what they mean by this, but I don't know if I can talk about it. What I will say is that I think people will not like this change. Because if you're buying the Ultimate Pass also for the resources that the pass gives, I don't believe you're gonna like this. But again, I don't know if I can talk about it or not, because this was on the private side of feedback. So I don't know that I can talk about it directly. But again, you guys are gonna find out pretty soon what I mean. And we'll see how it goes. Then we got the event rewards. We will also be tweaking event rewards from a season perspective, making sure we balance overall rewards from season to season, instead of from event to event. As we see players mostly focusing their time on our big ticket events such as the Spotlight and Drop Syndicate, which require time and dedication, we want to make sure that time is worthwhile to spend, so we'll be tweaking our reward distribution for Spotlight, Drop Syndicate, and other special events. This is a big word salad that doesn't say anything directly, at least not that I can catch on, other than we understand people spend a lot of time on a Spotlight and Drop Syndicate and special events. So we're gonna, rebalance how rewards are given around in the game. What this could mean is we're gonna make all of the other events also very good so that you're willing to spend your time into those other events. That is a positive view. The negative view could be, oh, we're gonna nerf the rewards in the Spotlight, Drop Syndicate, and special events so that all of the events feel about the same. Not good, but they're gonna be about the same. Again, I don't have any insider information as to how this is. All I'm saying is that this could be interpreted either way. So I'm not super hopeful about this, but we'll see what it means. Again, unlike in the previous section, on this one, I really don't have any inside info on this, so I don't know what they mean. We'll have to wait and see. Then we got the Drop Syndicate Relays. Speaking of Drop Syndicate, the Syndicate Coin Relays will be getting 2 new steps at premium for those who need an extra boost in a rush. So basically, the relays are going to have some additional steps to buy. I don't know if they mean by tokens or if they mean by money. But yeah, if you are missing out on some more Syndicate coins, you're going to be able to purchase more through either one of these methods. But not much information about this yet. Then we got a bit of a peculiar one, the Porsche 918 Spider Asphalt Edition buff. It says, we've heard you and agreed that the new community card needs a bit more oomph. So you can check the new stats here. So there's some changes, more notably the acceleration, which went from like 70 something to now 81, which puts it a little bit more in like an average type of acceleration. The rest of the stats I think remain almost the same. The rank boost was quite considerable. Now it goes into 4,700. So how is this gonna play? I don't know. I hope that regardless of the rank change, they only really adjusted the acceleration. I hope they didn't remove the floaties of this card, because that was a great fun part about it. So let's hope that they didn't, make another negative tweet that they didn't tweak, that they didn't mention. Then we got, well, over here they mentioned that they're doing the Ares Panther as, hey, look, we're rebalancing the game, so now there's the Mayhem for the Ares Panther. Again, it remains to be seen, because there was some Mayhem event, I don't remember for which card, that wasn't particularly good. So while the 499p Modificata was actually great. So we'll see if in which side this one falls or fits in between. I don't know, but whatever. We already talked about this. Then we got the multiplayer rewards. Thank you all for... Okay, let me try that again. Thank you to all our dedicated players who poured their hearts into our multiplayer feedback thread on the Discord channel. It helped us better understand the impact of the changes and review our plans to better adapt to your expectations and how you play the game. So as a first step, we'll be bringing back rewards for the top 25,000 players. Yep, you read that right. We're not only bringing back the top 10,000 rewards, but expanding it to top 25,000. Our initial changes were aimed at making multiplier multiplayer more competitive, but we just missed the mark. We have further increased the goalpost to make sure that multiplayer isn't just rewarding our top players and gives a reason for everyone to give it a shot and try their best. Alright, I have beef to pick with this specific part, but when it comes to all of this, I actually think it's a great thing. What they're saying is, in case you don't know, back before the last update, there were rewards in MP1 for the top 10,000 players and top 5,000, top 2,500, so on and so forth, right? But in the last update, they changed it in the lowest, or I suppose the biggest number available. Instead of being top 10,000, it was top 2,500. So they cut it massively. They removed 75% of people who could get rewards over there. So literally, considering the player base, only 2,500 players getting rewards from MP1 was absolutely ridiculous. So they not only brought it back to 10,000, they put it into 25,000. Now, I don't imagine that the top 25,000 are going to get great rewards, but still getting anything is better than getting nothing. So, hey, at least it seems that they did listen to this and they considered it and they greatly expanded it. And I'm happy about that. It remains to be seen what kind of rewards we're going to get for that, but hey. Now, I did say that I have a bone to pick with this because they keep on talking about multiplayer. Once again, it says, we have further increased the goalpost to make sure that multiplayer isn't just rewarding our top players and gives a reason for everyone to give it a shot and try their best. Now, they're talking about this whole thing of the top 2,000 or whatever, right? But this actually made me think of another piece of feedback that I gave to Gameloft on the fact that how for every single race, only the top three people are actually getting rewarded with credits. The rest are being left behind. And this is something that I think the game definitely needs fixing to make it better for you to want to play multiplayer and get more rewards for credits. But like I said, this is feedback that I gave to Gameloft, and I'll make a video dedicated to that alone and see if you guys agree with the way that I see it. But yeah, it's tangentially related to this. Then we got the multiplayer filters. We also heard your thoughts on the current filters and have also readjusted them. The new filters will kick in at the start of our next multiplayer... oh, Jesus Christ. The new filters will kick in at the start of our next multiplayer event next season, and will take a more nuanced approach to determine what cars should be included in each, instead of basing it purely off a car's rank. This will hopefully lead to more fair matchups and mitigate the impact of Evo cars. Of course, we will still be keeping a close eye to your feedback throughout the season to see if further changes are needed. So basically, apparently this did listen to everybody, myself included, and everyone, all the community, on saying that the fact that in MP1 they were doing the matchups exclusively through rank made no sense. Because you could have a classic car of rank 4000 like the Ferrari 296 GTB that performs terrible against a Class A car of rank 4000 which is gonna absolutely destroy the Class C car. But they were being matched together because they just went by the rank, but it made no sense. And I do understand that maybe the developers that planned this whole thing, they just, they thought, hey, same rank, they should be comparable, but they're not. So apparently they did listen to the community and everyone about this. We'll see what they did about it, and I'm more interested to also see what they did with the Evo cars, because there's a big problem with Evos competing against the rank of the non-Evo version of the car. That is to say, where a Corvette ZR1 of a gold rank of like 3700 and against other cars of 3700, you could Evo the ZR1 at 4500 with crazy stats and still fight against all of those 3700 rank cars. Made no sense and made the Evo cars insanely powerful. Hopefully that has been fixed, but we'll see. Then we got the improved credit exchange. As players can unlock more cars each season nowadays, we're also boosting the token to credit exchange rate to receive more than double and almost 4 times in some cases the number of credits you used to get, so you don't get stuck when trying to upgrade your new ride. So what they did is change where you can buy credits for tokens, and here is the old way that it worked and the new way, or the new amounts. Now, having a look at the numbers, yeah, it's definitely better. For example, the lowest of 100 tokens for 2,700 credits, now it's 75 tokens for 50,000, almost double for less of a price, right? And have a look at the biggest one. Before it was 6,000 tokens for 2.6 million, and now it's half that of the tokens, 3,000, for almost double the credits, 5 million. Now, here's the thing though. For me, in the way that I play the game, this is not good, or not relevant. More like it's not relevant, because I never spend my tokens for buying credits. Now, maybe now if I'm in a really tough situation and I need credits in a pinch, might indeed do this. But in general, I don't spend tokens to buy credits. But that is my perspective, and I would say this is useless. But honestly, I don't know, maybe there's a bunch of people who actually do make use of this feature. I don't know, I'm not one of them, but why don't you let me know in the comments if you've ever used the spending tokens for credits, and if you think they were too expensive, and if now with the change, you would consider doing it more often or doing it at all. Let me know in the comments, because I would really love to have this feedback to know if it's just me who never spends tokens for credits, or if this is a more wide spread situation here. And well, that's basically it. Those are all the changes included in our upcoming hotfix, some of which you will get to experience in our new upcoming season. Please remember that our goal is to iterate and evolve these changes until we hit the sweet spot. And to get there, we need your feedback and impressions. Although first impressions are important, please continue to let us know as time moves on how you feel about the changes, as we will be paying close attention to the Discord server and our socials. Basically what they're saying over here is, hey, listen, we're making all of these changes, but we still are gonna keep our ear on the ground to see what you guys think, so let us know. But also don't get carried away and say that everything is garbage, because you know, you need to keep on playing and see if maybe you feel different over time. That's what they're saying over here, and that is fair enough. I agree that it's good to give the first impression and then come back and be like, hey, I've been doing this for 2 weeks and I feel that this is actually better than I said, or I don't know, I feel the same way. Now, what I will say, and I want to invite anybody that plays on the Nintendo Switch or on PlayStation or exclusively on Steam to speak up about this situation with the ads tickets. The point that I already talked about on the fact that they reduce our quote-unquote ad tickets from 20 to 8. Because this is not helping us at all. And obviously, I don't mean to say that nobody else should care about this, but obviously us that are the ones who are being affected by this, we need to speak up and say, I don't like this, because now I can get even less credits. Gameloft's supposed way of rebalancing and fixing the issue with the credits is to give us less chances to get credits. How is that supposed to work? So again, if you're a player of Switch, a player of the PlayStation, or a player on Steam where you don't get ads, go ahead and speak up either in their Discord server. You can also leave it to me here in the comments, and I would gladly pass this information to Gameloft and say, like, look at all of the people in my comment section who are saying that this is ridiculous. Because again, I do believe that this is a bad move for us. We already are limited on the ads that we can watch, whilst in mobile, you don't really have that much of a limit. And not only that, they also decrease our allowance of tickets for watching ads or to get the rewards. I don't know, that just feels like such a kick in between the exhaust pipes, if you know what I mean. But anyway, just wanted to talk about this whole thing. Like I said, I definitely wanted to talk more about the hotfix situation, though. Like I said, there's some cool stuff coming in the events and all of that. So let me know, what are you excited about when it comes to all of this? What do you think it's good? What do you think it's bad? But yeah, let me know. That's all for now. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.